Okay, yay. Hey guys, this is Nat here, and I'm talking to Carissa Fairbrother from Rival Wealth. So I'm bringing her in because I've had a couple people on my doTERRA team saying, listen, Nat, as my income grows or as I'm going from rank to rank, I want to know what to do, like financially, what's the proper way to manage everything. So I wanted to bring an expert in to basically cover all that for you guys. Obviously, go ahead and comment below if you've got more questions, and we'll go back and forth and I'll get those answers for you. You can also, by the way, book a free, Carissa has said to me that she's happy to do like a half an hour if you want to one-on-one meet with her and go through your specific situation. It might be doTERRA, but also your family, trusts, whatever, taxes, whatever. So, hi Carissa, welcome.
Hi. Yeah, no, I'm happy to meet with, or even just have a chat over the phone or a Zoom with anyone if they've got any personal questions that relate to their situation. And if I can't help them, I'll point them in the right direction. And if I can help them, I obviously will.
That is awesome. So I would love it. So before we dive into the questions, you guys, there is another video that we've just recorded. It's more of a generic one, not doTERRA specific. So we did cover a few things in that. So you can watch that as well, where we talk a little bit about tax and trusts and such, and mindset, a little bit about cash management and estate planning. So you can watch that. But Carissa, before we do, can you give the team a little bit of background into you? I mean, one of the photos I used was you guys winning that award on the cover of the magazine. So can you give them a little bit of a background? We met as speakers, you know, as peers, colleagues speaking together, but can you just give them a window into who you are?
Yeah, sure. So 11 years ago, I co-founded a financial planning business with my husband, Tim. And last year was a huge year for us. We entered the Diversity New Zealand Awards, and we were up against some people, obviously, with really deep pockets, the likes of ANZ, Fonterra, HSBC, and we had these people come and they did a video, and then they said, are you going to the finals? And I said, oh no, we don't, not really, it's in Auckland. And so Tim went to a dinner with 1,200 people, and we won the Work-Life Balance Award against the biggest businesses in the country. So we run a team of 20 out of Masterton, but we deal with clients nationwide. But on top of that, we're also happily married. Well, the majority of the time. I'm about to go on a girls' trip this weekend, so we're really happily married at the moment. And we have 3 kids, so I know what it's like, and I'll use your term that juggling the mother load and business, and you're wearing multiple hats. So, but in my day job, and what I love and what I'm passionate about is getting people financially organised. My sweet spot is people who are self-employed or contracting or that family business. And just making sure that they've got all their ducks in a row, and if anything went wrong, what would they need? And we're a bit different, so we come from a financial advice point of view, not just a mortgage broking or an insurance point of view, because ultimately for me, I want clients that are growing. I want clients that are paying down debt and acquiring new assets and growing their business, so eventually I will work with them on the investment side. So not only do I know from my own situation, I also know from the thousands of clients we deal with across the country what they do right and what they could do better.
That is awesome. So today we're going to talk really honing in on the doTERRA model. So we're going to talk a little bit about how that works and what you guys need to know and need to do in terms of your doTERRA business, which is really cool. So I guess for me, how doTERRA goes, it takes a while. And I always say to you ladies, stay on the plane. And then eventually, you get to that rank of Premier where you're actually able to bring money home. So, and then you get to that rank of Silver, $2,000, Gold, $5,000 and higher and higher. So obviously for you guys, I would say I would keep my money in my doTERRA bank account, doTERRA account as AR balance, and use those earnings to pay for my oil order. And what's what a lot of you do until you're solid premier. That's what I would recommend you do. And then what you do is you fill out this form, which is in the files in our group, and you basically write down the bank account number, and you're deciding, now I want to bring it home. Like, now I want to bring that money home because I'm earning $800, $1,000 or so plus a month, and I want to bring that into my bank account. As soon as you start bringing it into your bank account, obviously now it's earnings, and now you want to be really smart about it. So I would suggest, Carissa, please feel free to chime in here, but I would suggest like if you're, let's say you're with Kiwi Bank or whoever, a bank account called, my doTERRA business, or if you have a name, like for example, Caroline, it would be like Intuitive Wellness or something like that. So I say Go-To Girl. I just put everything into my Go-To Girl bank account. I have a separate credit card, which is my business credit card. So if I'm traveling or booking flights to go to convention, I use that credit card because I like to keep all my business stuff separate, and I would suggest you guys do the same. And then I also use Xero accounting, so everything comes in there and I can reconcile it so I know where my money's going. And I also have a bookkeeper on top of that and an accountant. So that's my situation. But what about these girls that are at more the beginning stages, or various stages on the plane? How can you comment on that, Carissa, or what are some things they need to start thinking about?
Well, I think I think the best place to start a financial journey or put in some good financial management is from the beginning, so that then down the track you're not going back and trying to fix up mistakes, because mistakes can get costly when you're earning more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think now is the best time before your premier. I'm not totally aware of the levels, but before your premier, going, right, you've obviously got someone else earning household income, or you're earning income from elsewhere, and that's not floating the household yet. So you're looking at anything you're earning from that as a bit of a bonus. Is that fair to say initially? Like it's a new income, isn't it? Like it's added to something?
Yeah, that's right.
To the point where the scales then start to tip, and then that becomes more of what you're currently doing. So is it still a bonus income? It is regarded as earnings, and depending on if you're employed or you're self-employed, that will be regarded differently, because if you're already self-employed, it just goes into the income funnel, so to speak, and it goes into a big mounting pot, and it will be taxed as what you're earning is taxed already, and you've probably already set up PAYE or drawings or provisional tax, and you're already on that bandwagon. So if you are on that bandwagon, I think it's really important from your first $800 that you receive to make sure you're putting a percentage of that into a tax account. So you have your
separate bank account called tax, and it goes.
Yeah. Or I don't know whether it's there'd be GST on it as well, I imagine. Yeah, so you've got a tax account, a GST and a tax account right from the beginning, so that then you know what you're earning as you go through.
So just on the GST thing, because one of the things I get asked all the time is, should I be GST registered?
Yeah, I think the limit was, sorry, I'm not an accountant. We have an accounting firm, but I'm not the accountant. But if I don't know, I can ask someone. But generally speaking, I would say you need to be earning more than $60,000 a year to be GST registered. Yeah. So, and there's a point as well, like if you're getting a car through the business and that sort of thing, it's like the whole scale thing. It needs to get to a certain point before it's benefit doing that through the business. You may find that if you are setting up a little company on the side, or you're a sole trader on the side, that you're just keeping a record of the kilometres you're doing to go to convention or whatever it is, the meetings that you go to, so that you can claim some of those expenses, and make sure from the outset, you're claiming what you should be claiming at home, your home office and those sorts of things. But if you're already self-employed, I'm sure you're already well on that bandwagon. Where it's going to be different is if you're employed at the moment.
Thank you.
Someone else is paying your tax.
Some of them are, like 50%, maybe 60% of the people have an actual job. So yes, thank you for important.
So someone else is paying your tax for you, someone else is paying your ACC for you, someone else is paying your KiwiSaver for you, someone else is providing sick leave for you, and all those other structures that come with the security of a job. They come with security, but they don't necessarily come with an unlimited scope, and I imagine that's why people go self-employed or they've joined doTERRA. So if you are in the employed area, I suppose you really need to look at what your goals are for the business, or any other business for that matter, but specifically this business. What are the goals? Are you doing it for just part-time income, or do you see yourself transitioning long-term? If you see yourself transitioning long-term, I'd say set yourself up from the very beginning with a company, and so you're doing your tax right, and you're taking your shareholders' profit, and you can wipe off all your expenses and that sort of thing. If you're just doing it part-time, do it sole trader, and then when you put in your you will then have to start to do a tax return though. So when you're employed, generally you don't have to do a tax return unless you've got things to claim. But when you become self-employed, you will need to do a tax return.
Is that called IR3, or is it something different?
Yes, I believe so.
So hopefully that gives you guys some clarity. And I know some people will be watching this going, oh my God, this is a lot to take in.
The thing is, it's not that scary. It sounds scary and it sounds jargony and all that sort of things. But if you actually sat down and drew yourself a picture, it makes really logical sense. It's like, now you're self-employed. I actually think it's good to be self-employed and take drawings from your business, because then you get to manipulate KiwiSaver. You only put in enough to make the tax credits. It means you can manipulate ACC and sort of pay in advance rather than doing that, oh, I wonder what my, what's that guy from Austin Powers, that little doctor? Go, oh, I wonder what what the invoice is going to be this year. You can take control. It's not actually that hard. It's not rocket science. It just takes a little bit of dedication.
Okay, cool. So there will be people there'll be a lot of people that are self-employed, and then there'll be people definitely who are in either full-time or part-time work. And many of those will be thinking, well, I am in full-time, but my goal is to make enough money, like you said, the scale's tipping, that I can quit that job and do doTERRA full-time. So they might be kind of standing in the middle of
there's probably a few things, especially with sick leave. So I think if you're healthy and you're earning money and you rely on your ability to earn an income, it is really, really important you make sure you extend your sick leave whether you're employed or self-employed. It's just depending on the scenario, depends on which way you do it. But that is probably the most important thing, is making sure that if anything happened to you, your income that sustains your current lifestyle is still coming in, or the obligations that need to be met because of you are still coming in, so you don't have to move it back in with mum and dad, or your kind sister-in-law that you're actually not that fond of, or whatever the scenario is. It's about creating financial independence, but getting the setup from the beginning.
So to recap a little bit, you guys, once you've started to earn actual dollars, you're bringing them into your bank account, you definitely need to have a separate bank account which has your business name or doTERRA business on it, a separate account that says tax, so that you're putting a certain percentage aside. And Carissa, we get paid weekly some commissions, and for a lot of people that will be the bulk of their money. And then on like the 7th, 16th, 17th of the month, we get paid the rest of it, like bonuses and uni level and whatever. And for some of us, depending on what rank, that is the bulk of the money. But the point is, you guys, at some point, see how much money you've earned that month and get the percentage that you need to pay for tax and put that across, not just like $100 a week or whatever. It needs to be a percentage, because remember, once you start going to the rank,
I think so. I think if you're already, if you're in a good job and you're at the higher tax rate anyway, you need to be naturally putting the higher tax rate aside.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if you're not earning anything and it's less than 10 grand a year, you can probably get away with 10 cents in the dollar. So yeah, it really is an independent thing. And I think that it's when, because from what I understand of doTERRA, the opportunity is exponential. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I think you need to go, well, and I used this before, but you don't want to have lifestyle inflation. You want to get the foundation of your financial house, verbally speaking, sorted. So you want to make sure that you've got the first things that you're spending your money on is getting rid of any silly debt, any outstanding credit cards or personal loans. And then you want to focus on, is there anything that you need in business to take you to the next level? And then you need to focus on, now we're going to focus on paying down our mortgage. And then you're going to think about expanding on that. So I think as your earnings increases or the potential increases, I think they're the points that you sit down and go, right, this is what was our goal, or this is what we're doing. Does that still work? And oh, no, great, now we're here. Now what's next? You know, you're constantly on top of that, and you're almost having financial planning meetings with yourself, you know, every quarter, every 6 months, just to make sure that you're not blowing your money on things that are unnecessary, that could be better spent elsewhere. Because that's what I see a lot of.
Yeah, that's also a great point, because people are thinking like, and also, you know, it takes a while to get to these certain levels, but once you do see the income increase. But what we don't want to say, I say something like, think like a diamond, but don't spend like a diamond, right? So what that really says is plan for the future, you know, think like a diamond, like abundance. And, you know, on your dream board, you can have pictures of you on a Fiji cruise or getting a hot tub or whatever, but don't spend like a diamond if you're not a diamond, right? So we want to, that's what you said, like have your, and for a lot of doTERRA, we talk a lot about knowing your why you're doing it. And for a lot of people, it is financial freedom. And then we go, okay, well, let's peel back the onion. What does that look like for you? What does that mean? Oh, I want to travel. Where do you want to go? And then we got to get real. Like, how much do you need to go and do that European tour that you keep talking about? Okay, great. So then what?
And I love that you're talking about all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But the biggest holiday in your life is retirement. You're going to be on holiday for 20, 25 years. So you need to make sure that you can fund that holiday as well.
So do you think people should have like a bank account called retirement?
Well, I think that's where KiwiSaver goes.
Saver and
Yeah,
Save.
plays a big part. And that's probably why it's good for people if they want to call and just see if they're on track or what they actually would need down the track, or are they doing all that they can do at the moment before they're earning the big income to set themselves up properly for when that does arrive, is more often than not, I'm telling people to pay down their mortgage before they do any other sort of investment. Do you know what I mean? That is the biggest thing. But you want to be doing KiwiSaver alongside of those with the benefits of compound interest, obviously. But getting rid of your mortgage works in compound interest the opposite to you. Do you know what I mean? So anything extra you can be paying on that, that's years freed up of more income to do more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I know that's one of the things, I think I started working with you like a year or so ago, and one of the things you said was, that's great, Nat, that you want to buy, you know, these cool things or go on these cool holidays, which I am doing, but also bringing down that mortgage. And so it's like, yeah. It's not as exciting, for sure.
Yeah. So do the fun stuff. I think you have to have those fun goals. You have to have the Fiji cruise, or you have to have the, I know if you're into horses and the new saddle, you have to have those things, because everyone, and there's studies on it, that they like a carrot. You know, we like to shine, we like to reward, and it's great, but reward within reason, reward within what you can afford. Don't do a disservice to the reward by it being outside of what you can really afford to do well and make you happy.
And one of the things you said in the other call, and I'll just quote you, is act your wage.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that's true. I mean, like, that's the think like a diamond, don't spend like a diamond. It's the same thing. So that's awesome. I know that we're kind of you guys, we're kind of like sweeping over a lot of topics, but for some people it's unique to your goals and your situation and what other debt you have. And you might not feel comfortable to like comment below about your debt, but definitely you can talk to Carissa or one of her team about that. So do you want to tell them, is it your email? They would just email you? If they want to,
I think the easiest thing to do, the easiest thing to do is email me. My name, I don't know if you can see my name on screen, but it's spelled Carissa, Carissa @rivalwealth.co.nz. I'm sure if you Google me, it will come up. You'll find me. You'll definitely find me, or there'll be a link. And I'm happy to spend half an hour via Zoom or on the phone, and we have a 9-step process, so we cover off 9 things, and I can tell you where you need some extra help. And if I'm unable to do that for you, I can refer you back to your accountant and tell you what you should be asking, or go back to your lawyer and ask for X, or go back to your bank and negotiate this, or I'll point you in the right direction.
And I love that too, because I know that when I talk to you and I've got an accountant and you were like, that's great, Nat, that's great that she's giving you reports or whatever, but is she giving you, you know, insight into future trends and that kind of thing? And I was like, no. So that now I know what to ask her. Like, hey, can I also have, you know, da 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 da. So it was just things that I hadn't really thought about that I don't know about. It's not my area of expertise. So thank you for sharing those tips with the ladies. You guys, if you do have any questions you're happy to ask, comment on this video. I will go back and ask Carissa. We're not going to do that forever and ever, but you know, in the next week or so, we can get a few more details for you. But otherwise, I would say just book some time with her. If you're on my team, like maybe in the email just mention, you know, Nat's doTERRA team or whatever, it doesn't matter. And then she'll give you some time before the school holidays, because we want to, maybe, are you working in the school holidays?
I'm working a few days. I'm taking some time off, but I'm actually heading away for the weekend. I was 40 in December, and 2 of my best friends are taking me to Melbourne.
Oh, nice.
So
clothing budget.
I am around next week and the following week. And yeah, I will be around. I'm here, there, and everywhere, to be honest, but I can, as long as we book things in, I can make it happen.
Sounds good. Awesome. Okay. Thanks so much, Carissa. And thanks you guys for taking the time to watch this and being responsible. And what do you say? Financially organized, moving towards being more financially organized. Because obviously that when you can see your money and you know, you've got a plan, you're not going to be as worried about it, not as stressed. So that's what we want.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome.